Welcome back, everybody. It has been a mind-blowing day for me. I am just really soaking up everybody so much, really enjoying all of the presentations. You guys are making such a difference. And I'm kind of over here plotting, okay, well, what else can I do with these videos? How else can I promote you guys? And because this is such valuable information so far. And I am honored to have another one of my mentors, Leslie Flowers here, who really has a huge passion for influencing women and pay and mindset and all of these topics and goal setting. This is her bailiwick, and she has had a massive influence in our area geographically, and has recently been expanding her reach globally. So it's been really cool to see her business grow and thrive. And, another just amazing, powerful speaker. So I really want to, extend a warm, hearty welcome to you, Leslie, to the stage. And with that, I will pin you up here to the spotlight and welcome. So happy to have you here. Please make her feel welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Haley. That was a lovely introduction. And I'm so glad that as you look back, you found good value when we worked together. It's certainly a joy watching you continue on growing your business. And the subject today that I've selected is confidence, ultimate confidence. And with that, you can catapult your business to the next level. I'm really happy to be here, and I want to tell you a story. When my grandson was 2 years old, he had an older sister and two older girl cousins. I lived on an eco-culture on a beautiful lake that not only had all sorts of ducks and geese and birds, but also had the flying cockroaches that absolutely adore woods, if you know about them. One night I came home in the dark and there was a 4 foot in diameter turtle in front of my garage. So I got very interested in looking up the different totems for different animals. Anyway, at the end of the townhouse was a converted garage, and it was 2 steps down, didn't have any heating, but it did have blue carpet. So we called it the Blue Room. It was at the end of the townhome, and that's where the kids, the minute they came in on Sundays for our dinners together, my 2 children, their spouses, and each with 2 children, my 4 grandchildren, would run back to the Blue Room, doll houses, all sorts of things, those brick blocks, right? Just all the toys that you could find. Now, when Blake, my grandson, the youngest, was walking, just starting to walk, where do you think he wanted to go? He wanted to go in the Blue Room where his sister and his cousins were. And he made no bones about it. The problem was he couldn't get down the 2 stairs, only 2 steps. He would fall on his head. We'd take him out. Each week this went on and on. We'd shut the door sometimes. I actually had a railing put in for him so he could get down, but he still landed on his head. I turned him around and dropped him in, on his tummy. And ultimately, after weeks and weeks and weeks of this screaming and crying, finally, he was able to get down the 2 steps. We're talking 2 steps. What do you think he did the minute he got down there? Anybody? You're welcome to answer. What did he do as soon as he got down those 2 steps? Anybody?
Celebrate, dance, something like that.
Climb back up, climb back.
Yes.
Another set of steps.
Yes. Okay. Here's what he did. You're right. As soon as he made it down and made a big deal, and we were all, oh, such a great kid, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. We counted it 30 times. And every time he made it down, it was the same ha. And at the top, it was the same ha. That's confidence. That is confidence. So I am excited to be here at the WEN Summit. And I want to include you in the beginning. So feel free to unmute. I don't know how the recording will be, but my first question to you is, what is confidence? So give me a word. You can do it in the chat box. What do you think it is? What is confidence? Anyone? No one? Everyone? Belief. Oh, okay, belief. What else? What is confidence? Courage from actions? Belief in yourself? Well, actually, Blake's, my son is Matthew, my grandson is Blake. Blake had confidence. Boy, once he got down there and up and down 50 times, there was no stopping this kid. Experience and wisdom, belief in your own abilities to continue success. I work with athletes on this. Excellent. Knowing you are excellent at what you do, knowing you can. Oh, these are awesome. It's a habit. Yes, ma'am, Cheryl. Unshakable belief in yourself. These are gorgeous. Here's, after 25 years in professional development and the last 13 years becoming a global master and teaching women how to apply the principles of success, and in the Napoleon Hill's #2 bestseller, Think and Grow Rich, along with Universal Law. Confidence is a muscle that grows in direct proportion to its use. It is a byproduct of something else. So if people say to you, well, I'm going to go take a workshop on confidence, there's no such thing. It's not possible because it's a byproduct. So you'd have to do that product in order to grow the muscle of confidence. So consider what I'm going to share with you today is unique. These are unique concepts. It's very simple. After all these years, 15,000 hours studying this, 7 books, 150 masterminds, just a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of years, I actually have figured out what it will do, how we will crush the wage gap 30 years early by 2025. Now, in 2008, I went into business with Bob Proctor through a series of events. And he said, you're going to learn how to do a mastermind and you're going to teach Think and Grow Rich. And I said, what's that? I never heard of it. 6 months later, I was there training with him. What I have learned is that the simpler you get as an expert, the less that you say, and the higher up on the mountain of awareness, if you will, that you are, your expertise becomes simple. But it takes years. So I want to ask you another question. So we know what confidence is. And I've shared with you that it's a byproduct. Who knows what it's a byproduct of? What might it be a byproduct of? Confidence grows in direct proportion to its use, like a muscle, doing, Barb, your mind, success. These are awesome. It's more narrow than that. It's specific. How do you grow confidence, that muscle? Hard work. Well, actually, that's what we used to think. Habit. Excellent. You're close. Experience. Okay. It's a byproduct of achieving your goals. It's a byproduct of achievement. Now, that sounds easy. However, in the last dozen years, I have never found any course, anybody who took a course in how to set and achieve your goals with a benchmark, high school or college, that has you set and repeat and achieve consistently and predictably over time. There were no rules. So what we had for growing confidence for women is haphazard or sporadic confidence. We believed it sometime. But if you can't set the goals with some sort of consistency and knowing that you have benchmarks to reach them, confidence won't stick for you, or it will not become a belief. Now, I want to ask you another question. These are all concepts for you to think about. It's the work that I do, that Haley has done with me for several years, that all my clients learn this. Very few people know this. You will be among the rare. And I love high touch. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, is that it's really a byproduct of your ability to set and achieve goals in spaced, consistent intervals over time. And you never had anybody teach you. So the best you did through trial and error is haphazard or sporadic results. My mission is that we live a wealth, health, and happiness. We have a mindset of wealth, health, and happiness instead of making that the goal. So that wealth, health, and happiness is a state of mind, that no matter what happens, you feel really great. You know how to look for the positive when the negative shows up. It's all about what you think. Now, I'll tell you this. Who knows what the only thing in this world that you and I can control is? What is the only thing that human beings can control? We have influence, and that's a big part of my program. Ourselves, it's more narrow. Self, it's a little more narrow than that. Our thoughts, that's the answer. What you think, that's all you have control over. And to Katerina's presentation, that's how you influence. But you have to do it consistently and repeatedly. You have to learn these things just like Blake did, right? He didn't get it. He didn't give up. He exemplified the principles of success. And probably because he doesn't have a lot of baggage. Okay, so let me ask you, what is it that inhibits confidence? What do you think stops you from being confident? Besides, I've just told you that achievement has a lot to do with it, but what is it in your life that actually stops you from feeling confidence? Anybody? Fear, good. Fear of judgment. By the way, there were 6 basic fears, so this is good. What else? What else is happening in your life? What I want to take is the initial marketing material that Haley Gray posted on the site when I first saw it. Because what she said and what that website said on the first page, because I built this presentation around that marketing material. And it was about getting over overwhelm, over confusion, and managing internal chatter. Do you guys remember that? Those were the things that she said that this presentation or this telesummit would manage. And so that's what I'm relating this to. So one of the big ones is our internal chatter. And here's another little story for you. My daughter was a baton twirler in high school. And she was part of Drum Majorettes of America. And she started with 1 baton. And she would practice every day out on the street. We lived out in the country and it was a dead end. So there was no problem with anybody going past in their car. And then the day came when she was given the 2nd baton and given instruction on how to do that. Oh, it was tearful. The 1 baton would go up over here, another one would go up over here. Mama, I'll never be able to do it. Never. I can't get them to stay up here so I can get them both. Well, let me tell you, she never gave up. Not only did she master 2 batons, she mastered 3 and then 4. She mastered 4 fire batons, 4 puff puff batons, and had the first angel wing presentation on the football field of NC State University. So again, there was persistence. It was something that she wanted to do. And she built the confidence, first with the 1 baton and then the 2 batons, et cetera. And then there was the time on the field where she asked me to clean her batons, her fire batons, and I pulled the tape off of it. There was black tape wrapped around it so that when she throws it up, she can see the baton. So she gets out there, we light the batons, and she throws it up in the air and it lands on the ground. Almost set the damn field on fire. However, that was just a fun story. Okay, so here's why we're inhibited with confidence. There are 2 things you have to close the wage gap: ask for what you deserve and get paid. You have to have ability, and you have to believe you deserve it. And that's your confidence. Now, look, we come into 21st century business 3 or 4 decades ago. The behaviors of the last 5,000 years had nothing to do with business, had everything to do with nurturing and building a family. So over all those years, the behaviors of nurturing and caring and multitasking and taking care of everybody and the white horse in the back, if anybody has a problem, you're out the door to help them. And, you know, it's like nothing for you and everything. That's how it was, while men were running businesses. So then we just, 30 or 40 years ago, through economic conditions, we find ourselves single, right? The highest divorce rate. Singles is the first marriages is 50% divorce rate, second and above is 75%. Then people were buying in the 70s and 80s houses that required 2 family incomes. Then the divorces came. So the poorest group of people in our country are single women with children. And according to the IWPR, that's the Institute for Women's Policy Research in Washington, D.C., in North Carolina and also other states and in Europe, the wage gap, according to statistics, will not close until 2054. So when I heard that, I had already been doing this work for 5 years, and I got the touch from the universe. Women knew nothing about these principles of success. They didn't know what mastermind was. They never heard of Think and Grow Rich. And yet these were the principles that men had been using for 5,000 years, but particularly the last 100 years, to make their millions, particularly in professional development. All their programs are based on Think and Grow Rich, but you wouldn't know that because you never read it. You didn't know about it. So I thought, okay, there's the answer, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And in 2013, I created the Maven's Mind. And I've been refining it and growing it. It's a quarterly program to set and achieve your goals. So it's no wonder we don't have the confidence. Why would we? Why should we get paid what men get paid? It would be just like sending the men home to be house husbands. They'd have to learn how to, I don't know, get sandwiches ready, right? Get the clothes, all the things we do. Let's see them try to prepare a meal for 8 people and sit down with your guests, right? Because everything comes out of the oven at the same time. These things take years to get really good at, and women are good at it. The problem is that this behavior is in direct conflict. It does not match the context of business success. And I've done a lot of study on this, but as an example, men speak in bullet points. Very often women cry. We tell the whole story. Nobody wants to hear the whole story, but when you're at home for 5,000 years, it matters. Because you're nurturing, it's different. But in business, you're not that way. You're very different. Some people have some of these tendencies already. So it's no wonder we're not confident. So we could be able, and we are able, and we could be more able. But we still have the fear that we're not good enough. We have that internal chatter. And that's part of what I teach. The internal chatter is a reflection of what you truly believe. And here's what you need to know to be confident. I'm simply going to give you 3 points today. They're the 3 missing pieces. You shouldn't be confident unless you know these things or someone's taught you. Perhaps a father or a mom has modeled it. But remember that haphazard or sporadic results will not give you a wealthy, happy, and healthy mindset. That's what you want as your mindset, not your goal. What do you want as your goal? I want to be happy. I want to be wealthy. I want to be healthy. No, that's a way of being. Katerina mentioned way of being. And it associates with your amplitude of vibration. What it means is how you feel. And vibration is the way we communicate with the universe. So let me just go on here. Your results that you have today, your lifestyle, your house, your car, your bank account, your health, your wealth, etc., is a result of everything you've done up until today. And it's a result of everything you believed about yourself and the world to today. To use the word yet, it means that Cheryl brought up, it means that there's always room to grow. And as you increase your mindset, you're growing in awareness of what you can actually do. And what happens is when you set a goal and you achieve it, you go, wow, I was really good at that. You kind of surprised yourself. But then you do another one 90 days later, and you do that one too. And that's why some people have been in my program for as many as 20 consistent consecutive business quarters. It is through the repetition of the process which actually yields the results. So the three things that you have to have, if you don't have these three things, you'd be hard pressed to live a life of wealth, health, and happiness. You will have some results, but isn't it really so we can all feel good, excuse me, and love what we're doing? So there's three things, remembering that what you get matches what you believe. Therefore, the next logical step is how do I create a belief that matches what I want? So we have what we have based on what we already believe. I can't do that. I can't get a job. I can do that. I do that, right? What you have now is a result of what you believe about your ability and your deservability. So the first thing that you absolutely must have is rules. Simple rules to set and achieve your goals with consistency. There isn't anything, but I created it. And that's what I'm giving you as my gift today. There is a set of rules that has taken me years to develop, and it's used in my program. The probability of achievement is in the 90s every quarter. Therefore, you have a life of wealth, health, and happiness, because particularly as small business owners and entrepreneurs, you start predicting your results. You start knowing that every quarter, oh, I'm going to make that goal, because you have the 12 golden rules of results. Again, you will find this nowhere. It is a combination of 25 years of work. There's things from all sorts of things that I've studied over this last 25 years, and they work. So it's a checklist. It's just like with word problems. How many people loved word problems in school? Give me a thumbs up if you loved word problems, or a thumbs down if you hated them. Okay, awesome. We got thumbs up. Anybody hate them? I hated them. I hated them. Now, here's why. I was confused. This train is leaving here at this time. This train is leaving here at this time. This one's going this fast. This one's going this fast. They're crossing. They left at different times, different states, different time zones. And what's the answer? So I was missing information. That's all you're missing. No one ever taught you how to set a goal. The only thing we had was SMART goals, and that's a disaster for any dream. SMART goals was designed for middle management for tasks. Never had anything to do with big goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Your big goals are not achievable and they're not realistic. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know if you can achieve it. That's what makes a big goal so exciting. So drop SMART goals, use them for your tasks. They will cause a problem for you. Okay, so when I got into college and I took an algebra course, the teacher happened to talk about word problems. And he said, you know, there's only 6 algebraic equations to solve any word problem. What? As soon as he showed me the algebraic equations, I could solve any word problem. Was I not ready? You know, out of confusion comes order. Did I have to wait a whole lifetime to learn how to do a word problem? I don't care about word problems anymore. But the point is I was missing information. I was confused. Confidence is a confusing topic because it's a byproduct. It is not a thing on its own. It's kind of like that sidecar on a motorcycle, right? You're riding the motorcycle, the sidecar kind of hangs along. Well, the level of confidence you have is going to match how often you use it. You exercise the muscle. Okay, so that's the first thing. You have to have the benchmarks. If you don't have the benchmarks, I can't promise you that you'll get confidence the way you want it. Now, the next piece has to do with creating belief in yourself. How do you do that? You don't believe you can do it. Your internal chatter tells you you can't, especially something new that you've never done before, or that's what I'm going to, Haley asked me, how do I create? That's what I'm going to talk about right now. Exactly, great question. How do you create belief in yourself? It's a process. You already do it. It's already happened with you. The power in this work, in mindset work, is distinguishing what you actually did that you can repeat. Now, this is kind of a side thing. I wasn't going to bring this in, but Katerina gave so many things away. I was going to be very simple, but I do want to share this with you. Any workshop that you take or seminar that you take or you give must have 4 things. Here are the 4 things. You have to have a step-by-step process. The process has to be rinse and repeat. You must have accountability or support. After all, you can't read the wine label from inside the bottle, but your accountability partner can. And you have to continue learning. Learning is our miracle grow. And keep in mind that we're the only living thing that can take an idea, which is thought energy, and turn it into physical form. We're all alchemists. We're like Merlin. You're already doing it. The power is in understanding how it works so that you can purposely replicate it to live a life of wealth, health, and happiness as a mindset rather than as a goal. Now, here's an example of why people give up on their goals and how critical it is for you to begin to develop your muscle of confidence and not give up. And all the speakers have talked about this. This is actually persistence, which is one of the principles of success in Think and Grow Rich. And remember, you use them all. You always have, but you didn't, it was automatic. The power is in distinguishing them. So here's what happens. So I want you to picture a 4th grade classroom. Everybody's back to school now in this example, right? And we're going to plant plants. So everybody gathers around to their lab table. I don't know if we're 6 feet apart, okay? And there's cups and magic markers, which I used to love to smell of those magic markers. Did anybody else? Anyway, so everybody, the teacher said, okay, everybody take a cup, write your name on the cup. There's a bag of dirt at each station. I want you to take a handful of dirt and put it in the cup. So everybody does that. And there's like 25 cups all around the table. Actually, it's a big, long rectangular table. There's windows in the classroom. So then the teacher passes out the seeds. They're bean seeds. She said, I want you to take one and I want you to drop it on the dirt and then press it in about 1/4 of an inch. So everybody's busy and there's a lot of conversation, a lot of excitement. We're going to grow our own beans, right? It's springtime, right before spring break. Anyway, so then she says, now you're going to sprinkle a little more dirt over it and everybody take a tablespoon of water. After your seed is planted, don't push it down too hard, okay? A tablespoon of water and drizzle the water over that. So everybody completes that. She says, now what I want you to do is take your cups and line them up on the windowsill. So they'll have plenty of sun, right? And they do. And then we're going to have beans. So then everybody goes out for break that afternoon and then they come back in. The teacher opens the door and they all rush to the window. Well, it's not working. I don't see anything. Well, you just planted them, right? It's not working. So then they go home for the weekend and they come back a couple of days later. And as soon as they come in the classroom, they rush to the window, right? And they say, no, it's not working. The teacher, Mrs. Flowers, doesn't know what she's talking about. This is crazy, right? And another couple of days went by. And finally, after recess one day, it stopped. They all came in and nobody went to the window. They'd given up, except the one kid who walked over there and went, hey, everybody, it's working. The point here is we give up on our goals because of our beliefs that it must not be working. Things are working just because we haven't learned them yet. Because we don't know them doesn't mean they're not working, because we will learn that how they work. So it's important that you use the golden rules of results, which is the checklist to set goals where you'll have a 95-ish% probability every quarter of achieving your goals. That's how you build confidence. It has to be in consistent spaced intervals over time. And tasks work that way too. So once you have your 90, your goal, you also then begin to plot on your calendar 1 or 2 things you're going to do every week so that you don't paint yourself into the corner at the end and you have to do everything in 3 days, right? So even the tasks that you say you're going to do and you check them off, that is also building the muscle of confidence because it's moving you toward achieving your goal. Now, the last thing that you have to have, so we know that we must use the 12 golden rules of results in order to set goals that we can count on, that we can predict over and over and over and over again. You use those rules and you will. And then the next piece, which is part of the giveaway, is laying out a strategy or a plan. It's very short. Basically, it says what you want, by when you want it, what you're willing to give in return for it, what are your first 2 steps, and then you confirm that you will do it and you sign the agreement. If you follow this, you will build confidence. Now, the last piece is making it stick. So growth in awareness actually raises your ability to think into more of an objective, responsive observation of life. When you're wealthy, happy, and healthy as a mindset, you're not as fearful. You don't judge people. You're not as often reactive. It doesn't mean you're perfect. But primarily, you operate at a higher level of awareness. You're looking for the greatness in other people, not looking that they put on some weight. Me, 20 pounds for COVID and 20 inches, okay? So I had COVID 20, the hair and the weight. So here's the thing. It's really important that you are consistent with this. So now you want to overcome your own performance gap to make these things stick. That is your fear of doing something you haven't done before. So I use a visualization. Ooh, better hurry up. a visualization, which is going from where you are to where you want to be. And there's a big cavern. And so we know things, but we don't want to jump over because fear is that we might fall. So in one of my concepts, I wedge a big gold coin. And what happens is it temporarily obliterates fear. And you step up on the coin and you're up in a very high level of awareness, high vibration, where you see a lot of solutions because fear is out of the picture. You only have one thought at a time. And if fear is in there in your conscious mind, you can't be faithful. So we have to push ourselves to do the things we know to do, even when we're afraid, so that we can accomplish them and build our muscle of confidence. Now, I want you to know that you can do this. All that was missing was information. Nobody ever taught you how to set a goal. And in order to compete in 21st century business, you have to have both ability and confidence. And men have it by nature because they've been doing it for 5,000 years. We don't have it. So it's up to us to take things that we learn at this summit and apply them in a practical way. So when you do this, here's what happens based on this summit. You begin to allow confusion to turn into clarity. If you sit with it, it will get clear. So you're not impatient. You're not tapping your watch, right? I ought to understand this. You're not making it mean anything about you because you didn't understand it. It takes time sometimes to understand things. It takes repetition. You have to hear a concept a lot of different ways, don't you? And then one day you get the light bulb. Oh, I get it now. You were ready for it. Your awareness of your own potential had grown. You're going to learn, it will help you to focus on why you want the goal rather than how you're going to do it. Big problem. So why you want to set the goal is one of the 12 golden rules. The why has to outweigh the how. When you worry about how you're going to do something, it brings up the fear. All that mind chatter. I can't do it. I've never done it before. Let me play small. I don't want to rock the boat. We all have that. That's another whole training. What you do when you use the golden rules of result and you create a belief through repetition that matches the result you want, you'll get it. And you'll get it with consistency. And that's what makes you wealthy, happy, and healthy. That's what keeps you happy. Thank you. I'll read that in just a second. Now you'll have a new internal chatter. So your internal chatter is a reflection of what you believe, and it's usually you can't do it, you never, right? But when you achieve these goals, you have perfect faith because you've done it. So now you have a new internal chatter that has more weight because you created the belief and you executed on it. The old beliefs come from childhood, from parents, etc. They're strong and they're your enemies because they've been running your life for decades. However, if you mimic the process that gave you the ones you don't like, then you can create ones you do like. So the internal chatter becomes positive. You come up with this wild, crazy idea like, oh my God, I haven't done that. Let me reach out to my accountability partner. Let me see what she thinks, right? And you don't share it with anybody who isn't on the same journey with you. Also, what will happen is you'll begin to ask for what you deserve and get it. We're just afraid to ask. We don't have the confidence, but we can build it. So when you work with me, you're absorbing through repetition the rules of achievement so they become automatic. Overwhelm disappears when we calendar based on our values. Most people calendar based on who wants my time when, not based on our values. I have that in my program. Remember, you're focusing on why you want something, not how. You have to have a step-by-step process that you can rinse and repeat. And so now I want to share with you what you need to do to get started building your confidence today. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. I just want to show you my giveaway. This is the most valuable giveaway I've ever given away. And I'm so happy about it, frankly. There it is. It not only has the 12 golden rules of result, but it also has your 90-day plan. This is all you need to build confidence. It's this simple. Now, of course, I'd love to have you work with me. Right? That'd be great. But look at this, what's inside. A notice, introduction, purpose of a goal, the 12 golden rules, the answers, the explanations, why you do what you do, and then your 90-day plan. I'm sorry, that's your notice. There's the introduction, what the purpose of a goal is, a self-assessment, the explanations, and then your 90-day plan and your commitment. So I absolutely recommend that you opt in for that, because you will have a roadmap to setting and achieving your goals every 90 days. And thank you so much, Beth. Thank you, Haley. And Beth says, with Leslie's help in taking her program a couple of times. Yes, I do quarterly a 5-day Art of Results masterclass that's free. And it's the segue into my program. So the next one will be in June. The light bulb is turned on. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay. So keep in mind as we close this down, thank you, everybody. I really hope that you found value in this. When you set a goal that will have you reach it consistently and predictably over time, if you use the 12 golden rules of results as your guide and then plot your plan, say goodbye to haphazard results or confidence. And with that, I want you to know, and I don't know that I've told you, did I ever tell you you're my heroes? You're everything I would like to be. And I can fly higher than an eagle because you are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leslie. So Becky was asking the question, how do we get to these programs?
Well, my program? Okay, so that's
your programs.
My program. Oh, well, no. So if you would like a link, I mean, I can actually get it. You just let me know. Okay, here's what we'll do. If you download, when you download my free report, you go into a very simple campaign. Then you will receive a few emails from me and an opportunity to book a call with me. And then I can also send you the link to see the programs in terms also when I do the next 5-day, which is free. So the best way for me to keep you up to date is for you to simply opt in for the 12 golden rules of results. Let's just make it simple. Does that answer your question, Becky? Oh yeah, here, the link is in here for the freebies list.
Yep.
And I tested it and it works.
Yes, thank you for testing it and making sure it works.
Does anybody have any questions, concerns? Do we have a couple of minutes? Okay, well, anybody? Comments, questions?
I'll connect the two of you, Becky. It'll have to be via email, but I can connect you and Leslie. Totally.
Okay, thank you.
So cool. Jill asked,
yes,
can you add your LinkedIn group here?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you, my partners in crime. I've worked with Jill and many of you.
Under the free stuff tab. Yep. Under the free stuff tab.
The free stuff under my name will take you right to sign up. It's easy peasy. And as soon as you do put your name and email in, the download is there. You just click and download it. You've got it. Okay. Who has a question? I'm sorry, I heard someone.
Diane had a question.
Hey, Diane.
Hi, I have a comment, actually. I really, really appreciate this teaching, Leslie, because those of us of a certain age, have been in corporate America trying to break through that glass ceiling for a really long time. And when I see younger women in business, I think to myself, oh man, I wish I would have known that when I was younger. But it's a process like you're talking about. The men have done it with each other, have had this club for a long time, and the women haven't. So thank you for opening up the club.
Oh, you're so kind. I do want to share with you that my program works in corporate or whether you're an entrepreneur. Quick story about a corporate person, same process. Started back in a business, in a new career, older boomer person, at just under 50,000. And in 30 months, she was at 106,000. That's a 65% increase. And I am now, while I work primarily with women entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, I have 3 cohorts of my flagship program going inside a tech company for the past year, where I'm teaching the 8 essentials of performance and achievement, my flagship program, to C-level executives, president and CEO, and all the new people coming in to develop a corporate culture of mindset. It's the big missing in corporate, in small business. It's what's missing. And the people that are really excelling now are focusing on mindset. So I want to thank Haley for inviting me to this, right? Because since I was booted off Facebook, I haven't seen you guys. And to Katarina's point, I have to be omnipresent. So I have a group over on LinkedIn called The Art of Results. And if you opt in, I promise you, you'll know exactly when the next 5-day is. You'll know exactly when you can join my group. It is a paid program that you do for 6 months, which is 2 quarters minimum. Any other questions, comments, insights? And Diane, thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. I mean, having gone through your program, I did it, 2.5 years. I did it for quite a while. Leslie's program is absolutely transformative and solid. You know, if you're looking for consistent results, year in, year out, it really helps with the goal setting and staying on track and making sure that you are reaching those goals. So I want to, you know, give you a thank you and let you know just how important this stuff is, and you know, really express my appreciation for you being here today.
Thank you. It's totally my pleasure. I hope you all opt in to get that, because I tell you, you won't find it anywhere else. You just won't.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
If you want confidence and you want it to be consistent, it's not hard. It's just simply going down the checklist. It's like with the principles of success.
It's that word just. It's that word just in there.
Yeah. That's all you have to do. You just do that. Well, here's the thing. It is as simple as making sure that your goal fits those benchmarks. It is that simple. You know, one of the things is it has to be something you want, not something you need. So when you're working on your goal, whatever it is, well, that's something I need. And there's a reason why. And the explanation is there. Oh, well, then that's not a good goal. I won't do that one. Pick one goal a quarter. It's Absolutely. More effective. Women tend to do everything. 21 goals. The problem is none of them shine. In business, if you watch the context, one goal at a time. And trust me, I've had people 10x their quarterly income in 6 months. That's not normal, but there are extraordinary results every single day, depending on what you think is extraordinary.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful. So I am going to click off the spotlight. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you.